Good day, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Obviously, we'll be doing an analysis today based off of student-led events, starting off with Glizzy Friday, in which we'll be interviewing the founder, one of the people who were at Glizzy Fridays, and one of the performers. The goal is obviously to see the current trend, to see the pros and cons of student-led events on campus, and to see the overall experience, starting from the people who organize them to the people who get to experience them.
Tita, hope you're doing well.
I'm surviving.
So obviously we're doing interviews about Glizzy Fridays and how your experience was, and obviously being a customer and an experiencer of the events. How did you feel about it as a whole?
Nah, I really like how it was organized.
Yeah.
Like getting similar-minded people, but also different in their own respective ways, be it how they style themselves, how they see shit. It was nice to see all that come together into a single space.
Lovely.
On-campus, all the vibe.
Lovely. And in terms of on-campus events and stuff like that, how do you feel it ranks between on-campus events, off-campus events that you've experienced as a student?
That experience as a student? Different events, different vibes.
Yeah.
For the vibe of Glizzy Friday, I can't even say, because it's not really cool kids, but it's cool kids in a sense. For that kind of vibe, I would say second to the Legacy pick. Second to the Legacy pick. I'm funny, I gotta be honest, gotta keep it a beat. So yeah.
Away. Nah, thank you very much for that, man. Appreciate it, man. Hey Rory, as one of the performers of Glizzy Fridays, we'd just like to find out your experience and the pros and the cons of the event overall.
Yeah, most definitely. I feel like, being a performer all the time, you get exposed to new waters, new environments every single time that you touch a mic. But with Glizzy, it was more intimate, it was more a space for people that actually appreciated the craft, and you were given a chance to actually embody the extension of you and actually be yourself. So pros and cons would be the pro, obviously the audience, amazing audience, beautiful people, fly people, gave you an ear, very interactive, they were very engaged with the performance, so it was like a very good performance overall. Cons would have been, I think, the sound. The sound kind of disappointed a bit, especially when it came to the DJ, who was the one behind the deck when I was doing my set. He missed a couple of things up, but yeah, man, definitely I give it like a 9 out of 10, just one for the DJ, but definitely good people, good vibes.
Okay, now shout out for real. And in terms of student-led events on campus, how do you feel about the future of that moving forward?
Student-led events, I feel like they need to listen more to students, because they are the people that are actually tapped in a lot into social interactive spaces a lot more, and when it comes to the media side as well. So those are the people that are actually seeing where new trends are going, where certain events might lead, and how they will benefit the university. And also student-led events, I feel like they benefit students as well, because a lot of people are given a platform and a voice to actually express themselves in a way that says, this is me. So I feel like the future of that is in good hands currently, but it remains to be seen, because we never know what the future might hold. But currently, on top.
I appreciate it, my dog.
I'll definitely say the pros of hosting events on campus is the community part. So putting together people for a common idea, developing a culture, basically fashion culture. I'm very passionate about fashion, so for me, seeing a whole lot of people come together for one day and expressing themselves through fashion is one of those things that are the pros for me. And then the cons are, we are in a very limited environment. Bloom is very limited in terms of venues, in terms of everything. Having to do events on campus as a small event property is that the compliance part, sometimes you can't comply, so you can't really get venues. And sometimes customer satisfactory, depending on how much you charge, the price and everything, you can't really fulfill it because you can't now serve certain things in a certain venue. You can't do it there because you're not allowed. Time constraints also. It's just a very daunting process to host on campus. Even off campus also, the venues are not as friendly to students, they're not as friendly to young people. So I'd say those are the cons.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, come to the end of the video. Obviously, you've managed to speak to Selu, who was the founder. Rory was one of the performers, and one of the guests, and we got to understand the experience and understand the holistic experience of the event as a whole. We saw that from Celo's perspective. There were a lot of pros, there were a lot of cons, there were a lot of difficult situations that he has to overcome in himself, as well as the performers, obviously, because it's their beginning and it's the stars. But you also see how they're able to kind of conquer these problems and to conquer these obstacles in their way, and to give a really great experience, as what Tita said. And that's the end of our video.